So I've been volunteering at Independence Seaport for almost 4 years. And I just kind of got really interested in boat building. It sort of took over my art practice, and then I just started kind of focusing more and more on that. We had been talking about bringing a college group.
So I actually met John over a summer course, and he suggested the boat building class to me if I needed interdomain credits, and I thought, like, you know, this sounded really cool. And I was like, you know what, I need the credits anyway, so I may as well take it.
So getting there, I knew nothing about boats, and the first step was just learning how to map it out and figure out the measurements for the boat. It was called lofting. That was the first thing we did.
You would start from the bottom, which is the keel or the spine of the boat, and you would build out with the ribs, eventually adding in planks on the sides and on the top.
I mean, it's new experiences as an artist, certain techniques that we've used. I mean, spiling was completely new for me, and then working with metal, that was also something that was terrifying.
Anytime I got to use my hands and really engage, and they allowed us to do a lot of that, a lot of the work we got to do ourselves. Any opportunity I got to work with my hands was the best part.
There's a process called steam bending, which is basically if, you know, you can't bend a piece of wood, it'll snap in half, but you can if you steam it first for a certain amount of time. So I think that's one of the most interesting parts of building the boat. We've had to do it quite often. It's basically you stick a piece of wood in a bag to steam it till it gets soft, and then you just gotta quickly bend it into the shape you like, because if you don't do it right, then you can't use that piece ever again, and you have to cut a whole new one.
Everything that is on the boat is something that we actually made in the shop, from the bolts that hold it together. All the wood we had milled ourselves to make it completely smooth. And it's the fact that I can really look at a boat and be like, yeah, I made that, and it's awesome.
The purpose for this class was really that I just wanted to share something that I'm really interested in, passionate about with our students. So that was really kind of the first goal of it.
I'd say I've always had an appreciation for like really long projects like this. And something like hands-on is something that I could have seen my mom really wanting me to do. She unfortunately passed away in 2020. So in a weird way, like taking this class, because the whole reason why I took it again the second semester was because I felt like doing this kind of work made me feel closer to her. And it was just also really fun and something that she also liked to do.
You have a certain level of appreciation for a project like that, because it's really just sweat and tears and so much energy, and it's a group effort, and once it's done, you just feel this feeling of accomplishments.
Where the students were able to kind of bring their own voice into it was through a lot of interpretive work that they did. So they worked on journals with Bonnie Levinthal, who co-taught the class. And so they were able to, in their journals, kind of parallel the work that we were doing. So while a lot of the work that we were doing was prescribed, because most students coming didn't really have a background in woodworking, so we had to teach a lot of basic skills. But the creativity that came out of it was, like I said, seen in the journals themselves.
Bonnie Levinthal, she's been a huge help in like helping me open my artistic eye and like perspective on things. She's really given me that kind of like artistic flair of like seeing art in everything.
We invited Paul from Design Brilliance to teach the students about gold leafing. So, you know, students are learning, you know, traditional woodworking techniques and boat building techniques, but there are so many different kind of professions that work in this area.
A lot of the tools and a lot of the methods that we use in building the boat, there's a lot of overlapping. The different types of measuring they did, and the different types of ways to look at your actual piece and your actual project, I found very interesting. And I feel like I can take those methods and those tools that we used in the shop and transform them and use them in our other art projects that we have in the future.
When you look at the process of building a boat, having to read these blueprints, it would, you know, it's helped my writing process, as in like I need to build a better outline for things that I write. So I think it's easily translatable.
I specialize in miniature painting. So this is completely out of, you know, the norm for me, and I kind of feel like I don't want to go back to like small art, you know? I feel like I want to go bigger. So it's definitely made a long-lasting effect on me and change.
Became so passionate about boat building. My friends are like, oh, here goes Zoe again talking about her boats. I went into this class not expecting much of it, and I came out loving it. So it's really just taking on new experiences and letting yourself experience things that you might not have even thought about letting yourself experience.
The most rewarding part was launching it and seeing how happy the students were when we launched it, for sure. But really, like, the most rewarding thing was beyond the launch, just being able to share something that I'm really excited about, and hoping that I can do more of it. It's really been kind of a change in direction in my life, that this is what I really want to do with the rest of my life. It's like teach wood and boat building, share that experience with students, especially with students that wouldn't think that they belong in these spaces. Everyone belongs, and being able to share that is really important and special.